Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and we're gonna do an unboxing today, but a different unboxing because yes, we're gonna unbox a lot of tips. So here in this channel, it's no secret that I do like SPINFITS overall, so I do use them all the time in several of my IEMs, and thanks to SPINFITS for sending a lot of tips for us to unbox today. So to be frank guys, I'm not sure how many tips are in here. So we're gonna discover it together, and we're also gonna try some tips and maybe how it changes the sound. Maybe we're gonna test it out in our favorite IEM. So let's unbox this thing. First, of course, big thanks to SPINFITS themselves for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. So yes, it comes in this kind of box, and it says Derek at the top. So thank you, SPINFITS. So yeah, I was really glad that SPINFITS, contacted me because I do really like SPINFITS overall. And yeah, we're gonna just, dig into it. And this is a lot of tips, guys. How many are these? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of tips, guys. It will take me a lot of time to test all of these. That's a lot. We're gonna count it later, but let's just put everything down. I didn't expect that it's this much, number of tips. This will be really useful for me in my collection for sure. So okay, let's go from upper left to maybe to the lower right. But let's try to count how many tips we have. So we have 4 here, 30 tips, guys. So we have 30 tips. So I think it's fair to say that this is the ultimate SPINFIT unboxing, guys. Alright, let's start with the upper left actually. So it says SPINFIT NCP155 large, and this seems to be not for sale. So this is not your usual package for sure. So yes, usually when you buy a SPINFIT, it has cardboard box that it comes with, and the tips as well is shown to you. So yeah, that's how you usually buy it. So CP155 large, CP155 medium, and CP155 small. So we're gonna actually unbox maybe all the mediums because that's usually my size. All right, and this is the medium kind of version. It's actually quite a wide kind of opening as well at the back. So this might be good for those kinds of IEMs with maybe wide openings. And you actually have a pretty kind of narrow top as well. So it goes from a really large kind of thing and then going to a little bit narrow at the top. And actually it's pretty soft as well. So really interesting. Yeah, I haven't tried this out, but definitely I need to find an IEM that can fit this. I'm thinking maybe of the Freya. Alright, so this is the CP360. And actually from the get-go, from what I'm seeing, this seems to be more of a see-through kind of thing. But this is actually different compared. This might be the only tip that I have in this kind of configuration. So this is the CP360. And as you can see, guys, compared to the other tips that I have tried, this might have the most rubbery kind of feeling. So definitely it has maybe that stickiness to it. So this is the first tip that I have tried with this kind of stickiness. So this might be really stable on the ear. So that's one of advantage of these kinds of tips. So it has a little bit of stickiness, a little bit of friction to it. That's really interesting. So at the underside, you're getting actually a pretty small opening, and at the top, you're actually getting maybe quite a big opening actually at the top. So yes, this is quite cool, guys, and the color is nice also. So this is what I like about SPINFITS. You have different colors, and it does make your IEM look more custom. So this is really cool. So this is the CP360, guys. This actually might be different than what I am usually used to, so I might try that out first. But let's take a look at the CP145. All right, so yeah, this is my usual kind of tip. So yeah, I have the CP145. I'm using this. So yeah, but let's still try to unbox it. So you have a side-by-side kind of comparison compared to other SPINFITS. All right, so you actually again get a different color in these. So again, one advantage of your SPINFITS. And yeah, actually, yeah, this is a bit smoother compared to the previous 360. This is a bit smoother, and it also has a bit more fog in the silicone as well. Maybe a bit thinner as well compared to the previous one. And as you can see, guys, the opening from the bottom to the top is fairly equal. This is a nice looking tip, feels nice in the hand too. Alright, so this is the usual kind of SPINFIT. This is what I'm usually used to. Quick comparison with the 360, guys. As I mentioned, the 360 is more see-through, and actually the shape of the 145 as well is a bit taller. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, SPINFITS, that's one of the advantage. If you're using SPINFITS, it will go inside your ear more because it's kind of a longer kind of stem. So that's one advantage. All right, so going to the SPINFIT, this is the CP100, and maybe we're gonna try to go to the small. So the CP100 actually very similar to the CP145, but this might be even a bit deeper. But you have a see-through kind of design. Again, you have the different colors at the bottom, and yeah, actually the top is a bit more small at the top. So let's try to have a side by side in this. So yeah, checking it from the camera, guys, it has a lot of similarities, but actually the CP100 is a bit deeper on the ear, and again, it has more arrow shape at the top. So it's very slight difference, guys. So there's not, it's not that big of a difference, but yeah, the CP100 is a bit deeper, so this might fit better on some ears. All right, CP800, guys, and this seems to be more of an opaque kind of design. And definitely so far, all the tips that I have unboxed are really nicely built. Feels really good in the hand. All right, so looking at this is definitely really different compared to what I had before. So your entry at the bottom is definitely thinner. So this might be something that I can use for maybe my Shure 846. And you have a more opaque kind of design. And at the top, it goes maybe a little bit bigger than the entry point at the bottom. So definitely, yes, this is different. This is for those maybe Shures can fit for this one because yeah, it's really small. So maybe your usual Chi-Fi won't fit for the CP800, but very similar in terms of the overall shape. I would say in terms of the texture, it's more similar to the CP360. It has a little bit of texture to it, but definitely the CP360 still has the most friction, the most stickiness to it. So actually maybe the 360 can be used for some exercise buds. So if you're into that, if you're into changing your maybe TWS for exercise, you might like the 360 because it's really sticky and it will help in terms of the stability on the ear. So let's try to look at the CP240. It says inserts. So let's go for maybe the small, and yeah, this does look like maybe double flange kind of tips, which is something that you can use maybe for maybe your blondes. So this is really different. This is the most unique maybe in terms of the tips that I have unboxed so far. It kind of looks like a dress kind of thing going on. Definitely looks funky, but yeah, this is a double flange kind of design, so this might be more isolating to the ear. And compared to maybe the CP100, which is maybe the deepest that I have unboxed so far, this is definitely 2 times as deep. So this will go more inside your ear. Definitely if you need utmost isolation, you might want the CP140. And in terms of the texture as well, it has actually dual kind of texture. You have see-through kind of texture at the top, you have a more opaque kind of texture at the bottom. So really cool looking. Definitely looks different compared to my other tips that I've unboxed. The most funky looking, I'd say, tips of them all. The most stand out maybe. And the insertion actually at the bottom is fairly medium in terms of the insertion, and at the top it goes maybe a little bit smaller. So I'm just telling you guys what I see based from the camera. The camera is not that big, so I might lose some information. information that I give in the unboxing might not be as accurate compared to maybe if I do a full review. So yeah, apologies in advance if I miss some details because yeah, the camera is pretty small. So this is the CP1025, and looking at the CP1025, it's maybe the smallest tip that I have unboxed so far. So it's actually fairly big in terms of the kind of mushroom shape, but the insertion at the bottom is definitely small. So yeah, this is the CP1025, and comparing it maybe to the CP100, let's have the CP100 as the benchmark. Look at this, guys, it's divided by 2, the overall size. So definitely the smallest one in the list, but really interesting still though. It's a different, you know, looking IEM. So at the bottom, you're getting maybe medium kind of size, and at the top, you're getting the same as well. So it's a bit, you know, similar in the overall shape on the ear. So yes, that's the CP1025. And last but not the least, guys, the CP500. So after this, I'm gonna try to have a listen to some tips, not all, just to give you an idea, guys, on some of them. And I want to try out the more funky kind of tips and maybe one default kind of tip. So just to give you guys an idea on how this sounds like. So this is the CP500, guys. So in terms of the shape, this is more of a, you know, similar shape than the usual, but the difference here is actually the bottom has bigger insertion. So this will be something for this kinds of you know, IEMs. So I have maybe 1 or 2 IEMs maybe with this shape. So this is definitely quite big. And at the top, you go smaller, maybe just a touch smaller, or maybe even equal. So from what I see from the camera, so yeah, definitely a deeper kind of tip as well. So comparing to the CP145, so maybe this will be similar. There you go. Yeah, they're quite similar in the overall size. So all right, so that's the CP500. So this might be something that you want to use for, again, if you have some IEMs with bigger insertion. All right, so this is our 8 SPINFITS. A bit messy, but we have it all in our list. Really interesting. Firstly, maybe what I want to try out is this one, the CP240, because it kind of looks cool. I want to try out the CP100. All right, so we're gonna test out our SPINFITS with maybe our favorite IEMs. So we have a pretty good selection here. Maybe let's start out with the, you know, Blonde 03, because yes, it's actually has some SPINFITS here, but we're gonna try out a different SPINFIT, maybe the CP240. It looks funky, but actually, you know, with the blonde and with the not that deep of an insertion, it kind of looks just okay. So let's have a first listen. And on the ear, yeah, this is definitely one of the deepest tips insertion that I have ever tried. Isolation goes up a notch for sure compared to my usual. And this might be the best fitting blonde tip that I ever tried so far. And pardon me for the wires. So yeah, this might be the best isolation yet on a blonde that I have tried. Yeah, it's a different sound on the ear for sure. The sound stage is a bit more closed in, but it's a little bit more lively to listen to. It has a little bit more bite to the sound. This is really interesting. Yeah, this is not yet a review. I need to test out more tracks, but that's my first impression. I might use this as maybe a daily driver for my blonde. I'm gonna try it more because it really fits in the ear nicely. So let's try actually the Moondrop Spaceship, because I haven't changed the tips in my Moondrop Spaceship. So definitely the CP100 fits really nicely with my Moondrop Spaceship. It's yeah, they're kind of made for each other. So definitely it does go inside your ear, but yeah, the Moondrop Spaceship already has very good isolation overall. But I would say this takes it maybe a slight notch up, not that big of a difference compared to my previous, but definitely yes, it does go inside your ear. Maybe made the sound a little bit more lively to listen to, and better isolation as well for me, and maybe a little bit tighter sound as well. I might change the CP100 in this. I didn't prefer it with the Spaceship, so maybe one last we're gonna try it out. And again, guys, this is just a first impression, so don't treat this as a review. I might miss some details. I might do another, maybe a full comparison of these, but yeah, it will take more time. So I have the TFZ T2. This one, the CP360. So definitely, yeah, a bit different from your usual. But as I mentioned, guys, this is the more kind of sticky kind of tip. And it does show. So I can see that, yeah, if sometimes IMs falls off your ear, this might be a good substitute tips for you, because it does stick on your ear really nicely, and you might be able to use this for some exercise as well. It's a little bit more lively sounding. All right, so that's actually our unboxing, actually ultimate unboxing of the SPINFITS, every SPINFITS, I think. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And of course, a big thanks to SPINFITS for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. And do you use SPINFITS in your IMs? What are you using? What are your favorites? Let me know down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt review. Bye bye.